Hello. Hi. Hello, hello. Today is Friday, and that's super exciting because my partner and I have big plans for this weekend. Um, we're going to be playing a lot of games. And what else are we doing? We're going to be, yeah, just playing a lot of games. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hope you have fun this weekend too. If you have any questions and you want to say hi, feel free to drop comments into the live chat, and we can talk. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. In the meantime, welcome to another episode of the crowdfunding chat. Um, hmm, Sorry, my throat started off dry. Okay, so today, today, what I wanted to talk about is a little bit about your rewards and what types of rewards you should be considering for your campaign. Because a lot of people, don't really know what kind of rewards to use, what kind of rewards to put up for their campaign, what kind of pledges, what kind of things to use for donations. So let's kind of get to it. The first thing to really consider with rewards is what else is everyone else doing? Really, like for your category, what is everyone doing? So my recommendation for anyone looking to do rewards is really just take a look at your category. If you want to launch on Indiegogo and you want to launch on film on Indiegogo, go and take a look at the film section of Indiegogo and just check out, okay, what um, what kind of content are people kind of using for their rewards? What types of things are they including? Are they including physical things? Are they including digital rewards? What are they using? If you want to launch something like a game on Kickstarter, go check out what other games are using as their rewards. Are they doing a lot of digital add-ons for the games? Are they doing early birds or not? Are they doing just the game? Are they doing 2x or 4x or 5x or a retailer pledge? What are they doing for that? If you want to launch, an e-bike on Indiegogo, go take a look at what kind of bundles or what kind of things are included. Are they doing add-on additional battery? Are they doing add-on like baby seat? Like, what are they doing, right? Because that's, by doing that, by going through everyone else's ideas and just literally just writing down all these different ideas, you're going to be able to get a whole lot of information that will give you inspiration for your own idea. I mean, for your own project and for your own launch. So with that said, not only be looking at, well, that was kind of like a weird sentence, like don't only look at the actual reward itself and what is being provided in the rewards section. Also look at the pricing. Also look at the pricing of each reward tier and see, okay, so what's like an average price? What's a reasonable price? What's a price that looks like an outlier? It's way too low. Or what is a price that's like an outlier, way too high? And why is it really high? Why is it really low? What does my product fit in kind of that mindset category for people? Like, for example, if a phone case typically is what, $30 and you want to price your phone case at $150, like that's really, really different than everything else that's out there. So if it's really, really different, how can you make it so that one, people actually trust that your phone case is worth the $150? The value is there from your phone case for $150. Or how can you decrease your cost? Right. So make sure to look at everyone's reward pricing too, as well as what is included in the rewards itself. I would also look at I would also look at where the products are shipping to, where the rewards are shipping to. Okay, where the rewards are shipping to. Because yes, a lot of people do worldwide shipping. A lot of people do shipping in all sorts of places around the world. And it's not the best to always do worldwide shipping. Yeah, sure, you can do worldwide shipping because crowdfunding, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, they're like kind of a worldwide platform in a way. But you don't have to always do worldwide shipping because worldwide shipping is really, really hard, right? Shipping a product to places like, I don't know, like shipping to Thailand, shipping to Cambodia. I'm from Thailand, right? Shipping to some countries in Eastern Europe have been known to be really, really complicated, really, really difficult. So, with that said, you don't have to ship worldwide. You don't have to have your product shipped worldwide. If you just have your product shipped to where you're comfortable with, where you feel like you can actually get it done at a timely manner and actually not have costs be way ridiculously overpriced, like then you should kind of consider that. The other day, someone was asking me actually, like, okay, I'm launching this new product, this new clothing line, my first collection of clothes on Kickstarter, and I want to. A lot of people just tell me I need to ship worldwide, but I'm really not comfortable with it. Is it okay if I just ship in the EU? Because one, the US is the largest market for Kickstarter and for Indiegogo. And two, don't do anything you're not comfortable with, because if you're not comfortable with it, one, you're not going to know all the information about it. You might be over promising and then under delivering in the long run, and then you won't get people who want to stay brand loyal with you. There's a lot of these other things that go into working on something you're not comfortable with. Basically, with that entrepreneur, like, she really kind of already knew what her options were. She just kind of needed the additional external okay, that it's okay to not do worldwide shipping. And if this is you're like really thinking about just shipping to the US versus shipping everywhere else in the world too, and you're just not really sure about what to do, here's like that green light that you can do what feels right to you, because what feels right to you will make things really easy and will make things so much easier for you in the long run. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as someone who's launching a new product, and you have 100 million other things to really think about too. So, okay, so that's shipping, right? You're looking at what the rewards are to make sure that you have kind of the right rewards for that right category. You're looking at the reward pricing just to see what kind of pricing people use. You're looking at shipping for these exact rewards. Also look at things like the description of the rewards. Like, how are people talking about the rewards? Are they doing long descriptions? Are they doing long descriptions in the actual like perk unit itself where people click, or are they doing just like a short description there and then they're doing a really long description in the story of the page itself? Like, how are people actually rolling this out? Because all this information that you're looking at beforehand will give you just clues of how your audience actually behaves, how your audience actually kind of consumes information, actually takes in the information that is on the page itself, and understands it, comprehends it, digests it. Okay. So not only that, wait, let's see okay. The next thing you should look at too is also how many rewards are on the page. It's very different for each category, I found. At first, I was always like, okay, yeah, always keep it simple. The simpler, the better. However, when I'm looking at various categories, it was really, really category dependent. So, for example, if you're in like a film category, there's actually a lot of reward levels and reward tiers that people are interested in when it comes to the film category. There's everything from like a $5 tier to get people in and excited, all the way through to like $10,000 per person who wants to contribute just because they want to be credited as like an associate producer or executive producer or something like that. So if you're in film, like, go crazy, because a lot of really successful campaigns out there have multiple tiers to get people to be involved in the campaign itself in very different ways. If you're doing something like a hardware product, right? For those, the fewer the better, it seems. If you're selling something like a Pico projector, or like yeah, let's say Pico projector. You're selling a Pico projector. It seems like the fewer the better. Like here is one Pico projector. You can click on it and you can check out. Right. Sometimes if you are a savvy crowdfunder, which hopefully you are by listening to all of these kind of little chats that I'm doing, um, you can actually ask your audience before you actually launch the campaign itself, so you can know understand how many packs of things people want to actually buy. So one really good case study of this is that um, the team behind launching these snow sport mittens, like these snow sport gloves, right? They asked their audience, hey, would you want to buy one pair, two pairs, three pairs, or four pairs of these like snow gloves that they that they were gonna be releasing? And they found out that a lot of people wanted to buy it for themselves. They wanted to buy it for themselves and their partner, and they wanted to buy it for themselves and their entire family. And so they did one pack, two pack, and four packs, right? Because they literally were just asking their audience for this data, and they were just trying to figure out, okay, if they're, what does our audience want? What does our audience need? Because it would kind of not be the best user experience if they had launched it with just one pack and the audience has to come back again and again and again and again to check out. Uh, it wouldn't be the best experience. It would be, again, much more of a seamless experience if you had the four pack and the person was like, oh, I wanted a four pack. I'm just going to check out with the four pack anyway. So that's really something to take into consideration too, right? Like how many reward tiers are you going to include in your actual campaign itself? And that's something you should really take into account by looking at the other previous campaigns that have been live and looking at the other campaigns that have already launched before you in your own category. And a lot of times what I like to do too is not only to study the actual like main category that you're in and that you'll be launching in on that platform, but also look at the other platform too, right? If you're launching on Indiegogo, be sure to check out what like campaigns are like in your category on Kickstarter and vice versa too, because a lot of the time there's a lot of really cool new ideas on the other platform that you can actually take and integrate into your own campaign too. Never forget that there's multiple campaign and multiple platforms, not just one platform for crowdfunding. And okay, so we talked about a few things with rewards. A lot of people wonder about like pricing for rewards. Like, how do I price my rewards? How do I make sense of all these numbers? So there's a few numbers I would say to really think about when it comes to your rewards. Like, firstly, it's the cost, right? How much is it going to cost you to make something? How much is it going to cost for you to actually produce something and get one unit made? And was it going to cost for you to get it from the manufacturing to like a fulfillment warehouse? How much is like that barge going to cost you to barge something from a factory potentially in China to like a warehouse in Europe? What kind of taxes do you have to pay? What kind of VAT do you have to pay? What kind of duties do you have to pay? From there, there's also kind of what price you want to list this thing at after crowdfunding. And then from there, figure out what price would be suitable for crowdfunding that is one, lower than the price you're going to list it for after crowdfunding, but still high enough to cover all the costs that you have to kind of take into account. Okay. And those are kind of the three, the few things you have to think about. There's the highest one is the MSRP, whatever the price is going to be after the crowdfunding campaign. Then you're going to look at the price for the crowdfunding campaign and also the price, the cost of the actual product itself. And when it comes to crowdfunding, there can potentially be different price tiers, right? For that same product, according to what category you're in. So if you're in tabletop, people don't like early birds and earliest birds and then all that in tabletop. It's not fair. Apparently, it's not fair in that industry, in that category. However, when it comes to things like hardware and tech and design, early birds, earliest birds, that type of pricing strategy where you're tiering up your price according to when people come to your campaign makes great sense for urgency. And people in those categories really understand how that is how the crowdfunding pricing works. So with that said, if you're in those other categories, if you're in categories like tech design, hardware, if you're in anything that's like physical with some electronics in it, or if you're in some you're trying to make like a minimalist product of some sort, people understand those tiered designs. I mean, those tiered reward levels. So you're going to have something like an earliest bird that you use to entice your super fans. You're going to use that to entice people in the pre-launch phase, especially if you're doing advertising, if you're doing pre-launch ads, especially if you're doing things like talking to people and going out for demos and showing your prototype in different places. If people like it, say, hey, come join my email list, because people on the email list get access to the earliest bird deal, the lowest absolute price this thing will ever be. Okay. And then from there, once that level sells out, you move to a different higher price tier. Okay. Because that lowest price is used to incentivize people to firstly join your email list so they get access to that lowest price, and two, reward your super duper duper fans right when you launch, so that one, they get access to the lowest price point ever for this product, but also two, all these people coming to your campaign, all these people backing your campaign, all these people flooding your campaign right at the beginning really helps you navigate the waters of the crowdfunding platform, because it will help with the actual crowdfunding algorithm itself. It'll help you kind of shoot up in the trending pretty much of the crowdfunding algorithm itself. And so with that said, make sure that you're tiering your price point that way, and you're able to communicate that, hey, this earliest bird price, this lowest absolute tier price is going to be available for just the first 24 hours, just the first 48 hours of the campaign. So you encourage people who are interested in your product to actually convert into backers very early on, because that's going to be a win-win-win situation for all parties involved pretty much. And from there, yeah, you want to tier your price up a little bit. Maybe if your first price is $39, you can go up to 45 or 49. You go and you inch up a little by little as you progress throughout the campaign, and you inch closer to the MSRP, but you never actually hit the MSRP. And that's the great thing for that, is that for advertising, you can definitely use the lowest price point and say, hey, this low price point is ending soon, or hey, the quantities for this price point is going away soon. So it's time to get in and get involved now, right? When it comes to the pricing itself and getting to the MSRP and getting to like the actual retail price, a lot of the time people don't hit that retail price on the crowdfunding platform, on Kickstarter, on Indiegogo, just because typically people are paying a decreased price on these crowdfunding platforms for an increased amount of risk. Okay. So if people wanted to buy something on like Amazon.com, right? If they click buy, they're going to get something probably like in 2 days with free 2-day shipping from Amazon, right? There's no risk in them not getting the product because it's already made. It's just sitting in a warehouse somewhere and it just has to be shipped over. However, with crowdfunding, the product isn't even made yet. The product is like in the prototype phase, or in the idea phase, or in the early conception phase. So with that said, the product isn't made. And so there is a lot of risk in putting money into the crowdfunding campaign at this moment. And that's why with crowdfunding projects and crowdfunding campaigns, it's very typical to have a lower price than the actual retail price itself, because people are just paying for that higher and increased risk. Increased risk of potentially not getting the product in the long run, like 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, 12 months down the line, whatever your plan is for the actual shipping itself. So if that's, if you're thinking about pricing, make sure to take those things into consideration. And there's actually one other thing I want to talk about when it comes to pricing. We talked about there's the cost that you have to absolutely cover. So to make the product, there's the crowdfunding pricing. You can tier the different crowdfunding pricing, and then there's actually the pricing at the top end, which is the absolute retail price that you're going to be discounting off. And one other thing that you can't really price this, but it's the value, right? The value that people get from the product itself. And what you want to have happen is you want the value that people derive from the product, but the value that people see that they will derive in the future from the product to really, really be greater than the actual retail price listed, the actual crowdfunding price listed, any of the costs involved. So you want that value of the product itself, the perceived value, to be a lot higher than anything else. If you're able to do this correctly, if you are able to make the perceived value of a product so high that it um, just like demolishes anything else, any other like price tier below it, then it's going to be a no-brainer for people to buy. So, for example, if you're launching, let's go back to that Pico projector, right? If you're launching that Pico projector, and you say, hey, yeah, this Pico projector is going to be, it's going to retail at $200. We're doing an early bird pricing at 99, which is 50% off, and our cost for it is like $30. Okay. If you're seeing, if someone is looking at the Pico projector and you're talking about how portable it is, how light it is, how it's like 8K definition, you can project it on any wall. There's like it's a short throw Pico projector. You can fit it in your pocket. It's durable. It's like waterproof. And if you're talking about all these different benefits and all these perceived value points for people, and you're able to talk about it in a way that they understand, then the perceived value of the product itself is going to be way higher than the cost of $30 that you have. It's going to be way higher than the actual $99 that they have to pay for the crowdfunding. It's going to be way higher than the 200 potential listed MSRP that you're thinking about. It's going to be, maybe the value of it is going to be $1,000. And so when people think that the value of something is $1,000, but it's actually costing $99, then it's a no-brainer for them to actually buy it. It's a no-brainer for them to pay for it because they know that the value of this is going to pay off in the long run in terms of safety, security, comfort, convenience, whatever it is, right? But it's kind of your job as an entrepreneur, as a founder, as a creator, to really, really dive into this and see how you can increase the perceived value of your product itself so that people understand that, wow, I'm like paying an absolute no-brainer price for this product. I'm paying for so much and I can't justify not even buying this right now. Right? It's hard to do, but a lot of companies have been able to do that. One that I recently saw when I was browsing on Kickstarter is actually this product that does, it's like a new type of windshield wiper for your car, and they've made it so that people could change their own windshield wipers on their cars, and people don't have to take their car into like like an auto shop, a mechanic shop anymore, just to change out their own windshield wipers. And they were doing these videos where this person, this really professional mechanic, comes in and like changes the windshield wipers the normal way. And then there's this like 5-year-old kid or something who uses their product and changes the windshield wiper for the exact same car, but they did a time lapse, and the kid did it in like 30 seconds and the mechanic did it in about 10 minutes, right? Or something like that. So basically, and it says that, oh, you can do this. We'll ship you new windshield wipers every X months, because we know that that's like the average duration that windshield wipers last. And so there were all these different value points that completely justified the price point, because it was so convenient. You don't have to make an appointment with the auto mechanic. You don't have to go on that day and go and sit and wait for the auto mechanic. You don't have to be paying, like they already have your credit card on file. And there's just all these different convenience points that this campaign was talking about, so that it completely justified the price point in which they were at, which was actually really fair too. So that's what you have to do, right? You have to make sure you're hitting all these like pain points that people have. And so you're able to really communicate the value that you have in a way that makes people think this is an absolute no-brainer to spend money on right now for Kickstarter or Indiegogo, although the product is going to be coming to me, months down the line. Okay, So we talked about rewards today. If you enjoyed what we're doing today and what we talked about today, feel free to like, comment, subscribe to help other people find this. Thank you for being on. And if you really want more crowdfunding information, I do these weekly newsletters for people, and I have all these fun, actionable insights about crowdfunding that I don't talk about anywhere else. So if you want to go to crushcrowdfunding.com/subscribe, you can join. And there's also a special treat inside for you in the first email. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.